to get you an even better price. We'll let you know. Talk it over with Dean, Roy says, then twists his head as though he needs to know exactly where she is in the back seat. We'll let you know. In another minute, the sky clears back to its undifferentiated blue. Roy says, You can roll them back down and get back up here. I'm not your chauffeur. The truth is, Edie would rather remain in the back seat, out of Roy's reach. These brothers. For some time now, Dean has acted as though he's been warned to keep his hands off her. Even in bed, he sleeps on a narrow space away from her. Meanwhile, Roy has been, well, Roy. Could it be that desire is something like mumps or measles, one brother coming down with it while it passes the other by? Edie points a finger straight ahead. Take me to the theater, my good man. And I'm sure as hell not your good man. As Edie climbs over the seat again, Roy reaches out a hand. But whatever he was going to do, he must think better of it, because he puts his hand back on the steering wheel. Once she settles back into her seat, however, he takes his hat from where it's been resting in the space between them and tosses it into the back. Roy asks, You ever been up to Bent Rock? When I was a little girl. Edie says my dad took us up to Canada, just drove across the border and turned around and came back again. So we could say we'd been there. Would we have gone through Bent Rock then? You might have. Then I might have been there. Well, whatever you remember, it hasn't changed since. Edie slips off her flimsy rubber sandals and hooks her toes up on the lip of the dashboard. You'll probably get your feet dirty today, Roy says. I don't think Bent Rock's got but the one paved street. I thought I'd wait in the car. Hell no. I need you to keep him distracted during the negotiations. Really? What was Dean's job going to be? Drive, that's all. Just drive. Roy takes a pack of Camels from the pocket of his white shirt and shakes a cigarette up to his lips. He offers the pack to Edie, then pulls it back. I forgot. You don't smoke. He pushes in the lighter. A moment later, it pops out and he presses its glowing coils to his cigarette. He inhales deeply, and when he exhales, the wind whips the stream of smoke out the window. Don't you have any vices, Edie? You know better than to ask me that. Roy turns his head toward her, and with his finger slowly traces in the air the length of Edie's bare leg. Tell me something, he says. How do you get so tan working in the bank all day? Edie quickly lowers both feet to the floor. She says, We've got a folding chair we set up behind the building. During breaks and lunch hour, I sit back there, and I'm out on weekends, of course. I wouldn't think you'd get much sun in that alley. Roy pinches his cigarette between his lips and extends both arms. Me? I'm like a steak cooked on just one side. The car floats over the center line, and Edie starts to reach for the steering wheel, but then Roy takes hold of it once again. About the only time I get out of the store, he says, it's in the car. And then one arm hangs out the window and the other doesn't get any sun at all. The only other car visible on this stretch of highway is at least a couple miles ahead, and then it vanishes, curving its way into the first of a series of low hills, each stitched to the next with a narrow, dark strip of cottonwood or bur oak. Now you, Roy says, you probably have to hike your skirt up plenty high to get so much sun. He leans forward to look at her, and maybe undo a button or two. She doesn't say anything. Of course, with those miniskirts you've taken to wearing. For God's sake, Roy, can't we have a normal conversation? Roy smiles the smile of a man confident of its power to heal or beguile. Why, sure, Edie. What did you want to talk about? But she says nothing and turns her head away from her brother-in-law. She knows women whose husbands would never let their wives get into a car with Roy Linderman, but not Dean. No, not Dean. The big ovens in Flyder's family bakery blaze all night long and into the day, turning out racks and trays of cakes, cookies, rolls, and loaves of bread.